You want to have fun on the internet, and who doesn't? Uh, just do a search for Lucas Electrical Systems, and you will find the biggest joke for all British vehicles is Lucas Electrical Systems. Like why the British drink warm beer? Lucas refrigerators. Lucas, Prince of Darkness, because the lights just turn off on the older British cars. Unknown, don't know why. And amazingly enough, the early Lamborghinis had Lucas Electrical Systems. That's why they caught on fire a lot. Lucas. But the big thing on the internet you'll find is references to magic smoke. You let the magic smoke out. Means two wires that shouldn't touched, and they smoked, and now nothing works. Well, I had this thing ready to go do a 100-mile drive. Haven't done that yet. And got working on the CJ6, some other things. Time goes by. This thing sat for a few weeks, and when it started, just at least one battery was bad. Both of them were low. Okay, so I grabbed the 1009, slave cables, drove to where it was, hooked it up, got in, hit the master switch. Voltmeter goes to up in the green, hit the button, thing fires right up. All good. I get oil pressure. I stay in it till the beeper for the buzzer for the air system stops buzzing at 60 psi. I get out. I unhook the 1009 slave cable, park the 1009, walk back to where the whistler was, get in, and the voltmeter is like off. That's not normal. So I turned the switch, master switch off and on, and moved the voltmeter. What the heck? So I drove it over close to here so I could be next to my power and put charger on it, then a slave cable it, turned it off, turned it back on, voltmeter popped up. Hit the button, it fired up. But the voltmeter's down the yellow, way down the yellow. What the heck? I got a charging problem. So I turned it back off, raised the hood, crawled up here, and I'll just leave these sitting here. I'll bring the camera to hit. Now these trucks, you can't hear when something goes wrong normally. You can't feel it. You sure can't smell it. These things stink. But these are the pieces that are left over from where this is the main power feed to the alternator. This is supposed to be the clamp, one side and the other side that holds the line down. This is the exciter wire, what's left of it, up under here. You can, this big wire, the connector underneath there was bad. This wire was shot. You can see the burn marks. It burned the sticker off of that. I ended up cutting it and hammering it back some. So I got it back on there and zip tied. It should not be a problem again. I need to make another clamp to hold it all down. But I don't think it was from slave cabling. I think this cover shorted out either this one or this one and caused the whole thing to burn up and disconnect. I think that was my problem. It just happened to be when I slave cabled and when I had low batteries. But let the magic smoke out. Now it's fixed. It charges again. But speaking of magic smoke, whistlers, they smoke. And on the bottom of the exhaust, what everyone terms the J pipe. Because, so I can get it the right way. There. It's a big, huge J pipe. This is the J pipe that was on my truck when I bought it back in 08 from Evil Joe. You can notice there's a few rust holes in there all the way across the bottom of the J. And I was fortunate enough when I bought my gassers from Mr. Minyard, he threw in a J pipe. So back in 08, I put a different J pipe on mine. Didn't have any holes in it till the thing sat for a while. And I got it running this summer. And every time I start it up, there seems to be more smoke coming from down here than out the top. So I need, what I will do, is I'm going to make metal patches and just make a whole new pipe down here. 3-inch pipe, welded in. But I got a event to go to in a few days, or a week or so. And so for now, I'm trying out JB Weld exhaust repair wrap. We'll see how it goes. It's still curing. I can't fire it up yet. Anyway, magic smoke. You never know. Since you can't smell or hear or feel anything on these things, if the gauges aren't showing you something right, stop what you're doing, get out, check the gauges. Because helping somebody else recover a M35 Electric Katrina, fall of 05, so 19 years ago, from over by San Antone, Bernie area. I was driving the truck, and we'd spent a lot of time making it run and have at least one tail light, at least one headlight working so we could drive it 150 miles back to his house. And I happened to be driving the truck. I noticed the voltmeter was going down. It was getting dark. And I figured, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. I didn't understand how the electrical system worked. I did not realize in my head that the engine is completely separate from the batteries. So you don't need the batteries. Once you start it, you don't need the batteries ever again. Yes, it would be nice to have the fuel pump in the tank working, but the fuel injection pump on the engine, it will pull enough that you don't need the lift pump once you're going. And I kept on going. We should have stopped and looked at it. What it was one of his battery terminals had come off and was arcing, bouncing around while I was driving it for another 50 miles. We had planned to stop for dinner. I was just driving his truck. And we got on the highway, and it was full dark by the time we got out of that one town where we are going to stop at. I didn't stop. Of course, you can't do cell phones and one of these things. And I'm just going. I'm hammered down, going, and he's in his own truck, and he keeps on moving around to get around me. But my headlights, well, his headlights are so bad, I couldn't see where we were going. So I kept moving to stay in front of his headlights. I wasn't trying to block him from passing me. I was using the Rockwell cutout headlights. Anyway, he finally got around me. As soon as he got next to me and saw the two little glows, he understood what was going on. But that's how you stop a deuce and a half, is you get another vehicle in front and start slowing down. I learned that. That's how I stopped him the first time, because we're going the wrong direction. And he said, well, you drive. That's how I got driving. If I had stopped when I first noticed it, we probably could have reconnected the battery terminal and it would have been okay. Instead, it melted that terminal, melted that one battery, and fried his alternator. So if the gauge, especially the voltmeter on the deuce and a half, if it's not showing in the green when you're running, something's not right. Figure it out, because you can't hear it, you can't see arcing. At night you can see sparks, but other than that, you're not going to notice it. So if the magic smoke gets let out, it's not the end of the world. It can be fixed. It took me, I forget what it was, I don't know, 20 minutes and a little bit of detail work. This is going to take more than 20 minutes for the exhaust. Anyway, magic smoke. It happens. Maybe I'll get to do my big drive sometime soon. Thanks for watching.